Thank you.
I'm not that.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? How's the marathon?
It's going. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's just talking. It's more, like the kids. I have one that I think is gonna end up killing himself or something.
What?
Just another day.
Let me play my video game.
It's another day in the neighborhood.
Don't
It's been fun to listen today.
like that.
What?
It's been so much fun to listen today.
Yeah, I saw you coming in a couple of times. So what was your intake in the whole thing today?
Well, sometimes I think of just how hard we are on ourselves, and I was thinking of how we all have such a shared experience, yet we think we're so different, and everyone's going through so many similar things. Like, I was listening to you. I was raised by my father as a single dad, and it's just another thing. Like, those things just keep happening, right? Where you're like, oh, we're all just trying to figure this out the best way we can.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of today. I mean, online, it's easier to connect with people from all over the world. And you're not here. You're in...
I'm in Victoria.
Victoria. I knew there was a V in there. I was like, yes. So you're in Victoria. And if it wasn't because of internet, we never would have been able to connect this way.
What?
Can you please, guys, guys. Thank you. Boys.
I have 3 boys too. I don't know how many.
I have 3 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
Good. Let's keep it that.
Can you please just shush? These kids have been listening to my lives all day.
It's probably so good for them.
And they have opinions that, 13-year-old boys have.
I'm 13.
I'm cute too.
Have they asked yet if there's an International Man's Day? Because that's what mine has.
Oh, really? How old are your kids?
Turning 13 next week, turning 11 or turning 12 next month, and 9. Lots of discussions, lots of thoughts.
Right.
And
how do you find the time to empower yourself as a woman surrounded by men, boys?
Well, I feel like it can deepen the desire for knowledge or understanding, or the desire to be, I don't want to say more feminine, because as we know, our households, like, sometimes a male can provide feminine energy and the female can provide masculine, like, linear rule energy. We come with both. And I think that it's interesting for them to see the other energy in the opposite gender, and right. I think that, I mean, I also feel like it's an honoring, like, I happen to know we didn't have female leadership in our households, in our lives when we were younger. And when you don't get that leadership, unless you go and seek it and search it, you find yourself sort of bumbling around. Like, how would you know how to be a leader in a feminine way if you had no one to set that example for you. And
Right.
so I feel like I've kind of learned that later in life because when I was 20, I thought, oh, I need some of these skills. If I want to feel like myself, I need to go. Just because I didn't get them, it doesn't mean I can, like, I do have a choice. I can sit here and just say kind of like poor me or like live in the story, or I can say, how do I go and do that? How do I get that? Like, what am I attracted to? What sounds right? What sounds like it fits? And so I feel like I'm still learning those things now at like 43 or whatever, but I'm still learning, you know, I like quiet. I like quiet. So if that means I need to go outside because they don't care, like they love loud and rambunctious. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of making that wrong, it's like, I'm gonna go take care of myself. Like no one's coming
Right.
for me. So I gotta go and do that. Or I can sit here and stew about it. Like it's a choice.
Right, exactly. The thing that I kept bringing up today is you either decide, you have two choices. You either decide to be the victim and keep dealing with everything, or you decide to take that opportunity to learn from it and actually find a way and find yourself, find a solution, and find purpose.
Totally.
Right.
Find out more about yourself.
Exactly. I mean, those little moments are the moments where you actually realize what you like and what you don't. And even at our age, I'm 42 years old, and I wonder sometimes, like, I'm not even sure about what's going on until the moment happens, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's not something for me, you know? Or, well, I guess I liked it more than I thought I would, you know? Yeah.
Like we're not so attached to who we think we are, or like being curious is really, I mean, our kids show us that being curious is really fun and exciting, and like, you know, things don't have to be the way that we think they are. And you know, I was talking a little bit about this before about beliefs and thoughts. It's like you can choose a different one if you want. The hard part is knowing how to do that, but that's always your option. um,
Right.
you know, when you think of relationships or money or like these slightly loaded topics, like if you said the word divorce, someone might think, oh, that's a bad thing. But really, if it allows two people to carry on with their lives in a better way than before, why would you call that bad? Like, just when you start to question things, all of a sudden everything becomes full of possibility again because you get to write the story.
Right. I remember when I was with my oldest son is 22, and me and his father, we had a very toxic relationship. Um, and we both agree on this, so we both stayed together as long as we did. We were together for about 8 years, but we stayed together for as long as we did, mostly because we kept hearing the voices of it's best for the kid if you are a family. And he grew up with his mom. His parents were divorced, and he barely ever saw his dad. And then me, well, I was raised by my dad, and I didn't know my mother. So it kind of resonated with us, and it kind of made sense when we thought about the whole thing about how we really looked in, like, we really looked into ourselves to see exactly how we were growing up and how we were feeling about ourselves, to realize that we were not doing so great. And we always blamed the fact that I was raised by a man, and he always blamed the fact that his parents were divorced. And we got engaged. We were about to get married. We were in the middle of planning everything, and I will always remember this. My cousin had had a very bad marriage also, and one day she came up to me and she said, "Oh, you're still planning the wedding?" And I said, "Yes." We went, I said, "I want you to come and dress shop with me." And we were like, I was trying on dresses and everything. And she looked at me and she said, "Listen to me very carefully. It doesn't matter if the wedding costs you $1 million. If you're not okay with it, walk away." I thought, okay, But in my head, I was like, but it's best for my son if we are a family. And we ended up breaking up. And we had moments where we were so confused because we really wanted to get back together. But it wasn't because of us. It wasn't for love or it wasn't for anything. It's nothing else than my son. And I told him, no, let's just wait it out a little bit. Let's wait it out a little bit and see what happens. And I got together with my husband today, got together with him, and he got together with someone else. And now we're able to sit at the table and have dinners together and just enjoy our time. And we look back and we say, thank God we walk away.
Yeah. The moments of it feeling hard and it feeling like also you want the family maybe that you didn't have, like similar thing, right? You think I'm not going to screw things up like my parents did. That's a lot of the talk that I think happens when you want to connect and be married and have a child with someone else. You're trying to heal your own stuff. And then, but when we look back on everything, I've never met anyone that's looked back and said, I made the wrong choice. Like they always see how it led them to where they are today.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could only know that in the moment or remind ourselves somehow, like keep a book of all our difficult times where it turned out perfect, just the way it should be. And that's what the challenge is like too. The small T, the capital T trauma that happens, it's like really terrible when it's happening, but man, the depth it provides and like the teaching, like it's like chiseled a part of you that wouldn't be there otherwise.
Right. It's like a piece of the puzzle that if you wouldn't have gone through that, if you wouldn't have gone through that moment, through that phase in your life, you would probably feel a certain void in the future. Because that specific situation filled something inside yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Which is really, really important. So let me ask you too. What does today mean to you? What does the International Women's Day mean to you?
I think it reminds me of I'm an empath and an introvert, and I work with a lot of empaths and introverts. And I feel like it's the awareness, like the coming forward, the calling out, calling forward a little bit, like the canaries in the coal mines, the people that know and feel and hear. It's like a coming forward, like we need you, we need your voices. So I think of like all the women all over the world today and just feel such a kinship and connection with them, and still all the men that support them. And like, this isn't a gender thing, but it's like, it's just a voice that needs to be heard. I feel like I can feel them all stepping forward. Even if it's one step collectively, that's what it feels like today is for me.
Yes. So what is your message today?
My message today is that we share such similar struggles and paths and celebrations and children and pain and all those things. And that how strong and deep and resourceful everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you're going through a tough time, that it'll pass. I think that that's one of the best gifts you can give someone going through a challenging time is knowing that it's a moment and knowing that they can just choose, like we were, talking about just choosing for that slightly higher feeling above, because you can't wish or think your way out of a situation. It's not helpful. It's like bypassing the whole thing. So
Right.
it's just, if you can choose one thing out of it, like your car broke down on the side of the road and your phone's completely out of battery and you're just sitting there. And if all you can tell yourself is like, well, at least I get to sit outside for 45 minutes until someone comes to help me. Like, just pick one small thing in whatever your situation is, and that'll pretty much get you through everything in life. And that there's people collectively wanting to lift you up. That's what today is about for me. The collectiveness of the pain and understanding and all that, but also the raising up and wanting better for ourselves.
That's amazing. I find that today is really about the great value of a group of people that have so much to give and so much to share. And I feel like together we're actually able to make a difference. As small as it could be, it doesn't matter. If we made a difference with one person, then that's already one, and that's really that I feel like it's what really matters. Um, our voices are not being heard as much as we probably wish we were. And I feel like these are times that are even more important. We have a lot of mental issues. Population has a lot of mental issues. There's way too many standards and unobtainable standards that society has been bringing up on us, which is not fair. But that's the reality of things, and this is exactly what we're going through. And I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. But together we can come together and we can actually work on a plan and say, you know what, this is what we can bring to anybody that's willing to listen, to anybody that's willing to actually take our message and use it for positive. And how was your upbringing? Since you said you were just saying that your father raised you, how was that for you living with a male?
I didn't know any different. Like you had said, you got you got a Tonka truck or something instead of a pink sports car or whatever I didn't know any different. But then when I left home, I realized for me that I didn't receive listening skills. I didn't receive a lot of empathy skills, which is kind of funny because I'm an empath. So then I felt like a total outcast. Like I was the black sheep because I could feel animals or plants or like other people's feelings. I could feel when someone was hurt and I would want to go and assist them, but that was not part of my family upbringing. So the masculine, linear, kind of rule oriented side was what I was brought up in, and I didn't resonate with that at all. But looking back, maybe I never would have gotten those parts out of my life. Like I went and learned all the other parts, but if I didn't learn that there, maybe I never would have gotten those skills of just more doing thinking, like what can we do, and that like moving forward feeling instead of contemplation and introspection and things like that. So it was very interesting. I mean, it's gotten me very far in my life. I feel like I have no problem propelling myself or doing things, or like I can figure out anything. But I certainly missed the emotional, the softness. That part was missing for me as a child. And I'm so glad that I went and got educated in that, or else I would feel like there was something wrong with me. And that feeling is what leads to mental health issues. Like, I'm not okay. There's something wrong with me. I'm different than everyone else. That isolated creates a mental health issue. But if you're aware enough to, in this particular case, if you're aware enough to go and get that education and get that help, you know, that can be your lifeline.
Right, right. That is really, really fascinating, isn't it? How we find it within ourselves to look for answers when we don't get the answers that we want.
Yeah, and the like honoring being a cycle breaker. Like, this will not happen in my family. You know what's happened for me, and not that it was the wrong thing or horrible, but it's just like that's not my value system. And
Right.
we get to decide our own values as women, as moms, as a human being. And if you don't have your values, someone's going to tell you what they are. So you might as well go and educate yourself on what your values are.
Right. What would you tell to a young Melissa?
I would let her know that she was wise beyond her years, and that all of her feelings were valid and right, and we're going to lead her somewhere instead of being criticized or ostracized, or you know, for me, leading me to perfectionism, which is a tactic, right?
Right.
So all that criticism and perfectionism in our own mind comes from us not being validated as kids. And then here we are with our own kids still trying. So it's like just saying, when you feel criticism or perfectionism coming up, just recognizing that voice and saying, who is that? Oh, that's not mine. Like, is the simplest way to just like brush that off your shoulder, because you would never say that to your kids, or you would never expect yourself to be perfect. Like, I was thinking today about, there's a poem by Rumi, and he talks about all of your emotions being like a guest in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Just like your children, when they come home, you welcome them all with their feelings, what's going on. And if we can welcome our emotions and say, oh, sadness, you're here today, that's okay. We can be sad together today. Or anger, you're here today. Instead of wishing our way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're fine with happiness, we're fine with joyful, we're fine with energy. But for some reason, when they're slightly lower emotions, we tend to think we shouldn't have them, instead of like welcoming them like they're our kids, and just saying, I know you're here for a while and you're going to pass through, and you're here to show me something. Like, I'm ready to listen to what you're here for. So welcoming all those emotions instead of labeling them good or bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's nice.
So much better than what we do, isn't it? Like, instead we shame ourselves and wish it was different, and like whatever else we do.
Oh my God, yes. We doubt ourselves, we put ourselves down, we don't listen to our intuition, and we give negativity so much power over ourselves that it ends up being even worse than what it was even before it began.
Totally. We're like, how can we make this worse? Add guilt, add shame, add like whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What else can I do to make my day worse?
Yeah. Why would we do that? Yeah.
It's so hard to not listen, you know, when you have that little like demon and angel on your shoulder, and you have to pay so much attention to that angel side of you, which is the side that's the positive side, is the side that actually empowers you and gives you all the tools and the knowledge for you to grow. But then yet you always turn to listen to the little devil side, because that side just seems louder. It just seems more credible somehow than the other side. And it's to learn how to listen, and it's to learn how to pay attention to the good things more than to the bad things. And even if you do notice that there, you have a bad quality, or I don't know, that you did something wrong or whatever, um, the growth part of it is to actually take all of these experiences and learn from them, and make sure that the next time you actually face these situations, you actually make the right decisions, the right actions. I mean, there aren't any bad, bad decisions really. They're learning curves and learning moments.
Totally. It's all what you tell yourself. And so if you're feeling like I'm a terrible mom because I just yelled at my son, instead
Mm-hmm.
of saying like, oh no, I'm a good mom, because that feeling isn't available to you right now, you can just say, you know, I'm a mom that was trying to get a point across and I didn't say it very nicely. Like that at least is better than I'm a bad mom. Like you can talk you can talk to yourself and acknowledge what happened, but that, you know, and then next time you might find you can stop yelling sooner or not even get to that point. But if you just go to like, no, I'm a good mom, it just seems out of reach at that point.
Right. And it almost sounds,
Defensive.
yeah, defensive and
Yeah,
false, just to prove a point.
totally. Yeah.
It's not what we want to do. We want to actually find the reason, and we want to find the truth in ourselves.
It's that damn ego. It's like you gotta
Right.
with it
The
sometimes.
damn ego.
Ah, jeez.
That ego will always take over everything.
You say, ego, buckle up in the back.
Right. Can you guys?
You know, they're doing really good with you, like being inside all day and all this. They're doing awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, they are actually. They're not bad. It's just I think by now they're like feeling a little off. Like okay, it's enough.
Yeah.
They want mom's attention.
Yeah. They're like, Mom, Women's Day is over. Get off.
It's 6 o'clock, mom.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I say it's over when I want it to be over.
With a snap.
Right. Do you have any last words?
I feel I I feel compelled to like just wrap my arms around everybody and just let everyone know that we're doing our best, and our best is really good enough on most days. It really is. And that on our great days we can do better.
Mhm.
And just that there's always people like you and other people out there, even if it's virtually right now, there is a community. And not to be ashamed or feel like you shouldn't feel how you feel. It's better to transform that feeling than let it sit with you. So just like to reach out to people.
Right. I see your content go on, and I have to say, I really like it. You touch a lot of points, and like that inner connection. I really like that. I was watching your videos that you posted, and I really find that you have a really nice way of proclaiming that, and how you have a very calm way. So that's really nice. Um, guys, you need to follow Marlisa. You will find her content, and like I said, her voice is just so soothing and so relaxing, and she has this way of just going into the details without like pressuring you guys to listen, or you know what I mean. So it's really, really refreshing, and it's really nice. It's like Nicole also. You girls, seriously, Nicole is the same thing. She has such a calm, and here I am going, oh
That's needed though too, right? Oh, and I can let it rip sometimes, but
yeah. Nice.
but I try to share stuff that like I know what it's like. I know what it's like to feel like my feeling is so strong and I don't know what to do. And I just want people to know that that's okay, and that there's a little tiny step you can take. It doesn't have to be this massive thing, and it's like that it's doable, and that I've been there. I've done that thing that someone's probably talking about. So like I can really understand. And a lot of people on media, they seem to have this, like there's this perfectionist life and like airbrush stuff and all that. And I'm just real. Like stuff happens all the time that is like shocking and not helpful and terrible. But that has to be talked about too. It can't just be all the glossy stuff, because that
No.
isolates people. That makes them feel weird. That's not their life.
Right. Awesome. I want to thank you for coming on today, really.
Thanks for doing this. It was awesome. Yeah.
It was.
So much fun.
It's really awesome. It's a lot of fun to listen to all of you, and you know, the different people, different mindsets, different personalities, and different places in the world, and yet we can still connect in so many ways, you know? And we can really, really have so much in common without even knowing it. Right?
That's community.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Marlisa, I want to thank you for tonight. So, guys, I am tagging Marlisa. Follow her. Go check out her page. You will not be disappointed. She has such good content. Watch her videos. It's really calming. I'm telling you.
I keep them to like 3 minutes because I try to keep them, again, doable and like, you know, not over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's enough. It's enough to really keep somebody's attention, and, you know, just, it's like a short and sweet little thing. Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. Yes. That's awesome. All right, Marlise, I'm going to tag you on this live. We're going to hang up. And yeah, you'll
Thanks,
be able to
Mama.
share. All right.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.